It always gives us plenty to talk about, and we're going to do that right now with Michelle Malkin. She joins us from Colorado. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Yesterday, the president went up to the Hill, talked to the House Republicans. Today, he's going to go to the Senate. It's all part of the charm offensive, which I know that you know that this is just a scheme. It's part of his optics because
no, I don't want to hear that.
These two believe that there really is some bipartisanship going on the part of the White House.
Well, that's not exactly right. We believe it could work, even if it's just, even if it's optics, it could work.
Yeah, I share Steve's jaundiced eye and ear on this. I think charm offensives actually require charm. And this is more of a Smarm offensive, giving the pose of bipartisan conciliation for the cameras, when behind the scenes, by all accounts, this was a very tense meeting and an opportunity for Obama to once again chastise and wave his pointy finger at Republicans as he took offense at the very true assessment that, of course, over the last years of his tenure and into this new administration, that all it is about gaining political advantage at the expense of Republicans who are constantly spanked publicly by this president.
I'm with you.
Okay, then.
Paul Ryan was quoted as saying that he thought the president helped himself in that meeting yesterday.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Whatever happened to transparency and doing things in a different way in Washington? If this is supposed to be all for the public interest, why don't we have these meetings in public, broadcast on Fox News, perhaps?
Sure.
So we could see exactly what's being said and what's being promised. And I'd love to see the Republicans' faces as he's pretending to extend the olive branch to them.
All right,
why don't we do this for the Senate Republicans? Why don't we have it publicly?
There you go.
Here's the challenge.
Also, Michelle, you know, the White House may be changing course on whether or not to allow school groups inside the White House on tours. This came out during an interview with George Stephanopoulos, in which the president said, you know what, the Secret Service basically gave us a choice: furlough people and have them lose some of their paycheck, or stop these tours. And so, you know, it was up to the Secret Service, but we had to stop the tours. Here's Jay Carney trying to explain that logic.
The Secret Service told us that the tours cost $74,000 a week. How much is it going to cost for the president to travel later this week to Illinois?
Look, the president is the president of the United States, and he is elected to represent all of the people, and he travels around the country appropriately. I don't have a figure on the cost of presidential travel. It is, you know, obviously something, as every president deals with because of security and staff, a significant undertaking. But you know, the president has to travel around the country. He has to travel around the world. That is part of his job.
How much does it cost for him to go and play golf?
John, again, you know, you're trivializing an impact here. People will lose their job. 750,000 people will lose their job.
Jonathan Karl is asking a good question. Give us
two of them.
How much does it cost?
Yeah, and he didn't answer, of course. But let's back up a little bit, because I just want to savor this moment of the commander-in-chief throwing his own Secret Service, the people who are willing to take a bullet for the man, under the bus and pointing the finger at them for the decision to shut down the White House tours, when it was Jay Carney himself in that same press briefing who acknowledged that it was the White House that made the decision. Right. So this sort of underscores what I'm saying about this charm offensive, okay? Because if he was really intent, this president, on having a bipartisan pose and changing the way business is done in Washington, he would be swallowing each and every one of his lies about the sequester panic. And yet he continues to not only indulge in these lies that are contradicted by his own White House press secretary, but in indulging in all of the GOP bashing when it's their decisions. This is disgusting.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks like the mainstream media, at least certain members of it, are starting to ask some hard questions after 4+ years, and that is, you know, government's got to be accountable. So it's great that Jonathan Karl asked 2 good questions yesterday. Michelle, always a pleasure. You ask good questions, and you've got some great answers, and we thank you very much for joining us live today.
You bet. Take care. Michelle.